Boy, there are a lot of moving parts here in Absolute Batman number 17. See, in issue number 16, Bruce teamed up with Diana again. He went to her neck of the woods, grabbed a magical item that might actually help cure Waylon. But that's not the only thing he went through, because he also tried to reconnect with his friends and they were having none of it. So Bruce is doing his best to keep everything together, and on top of everything he's got to deal with, now Absolute Poison Ivy makes herself known right in the heart of Gotham. And believe me guys, the problems do not stop there. So let's get into it. As we start with Miss Isley herself. On my 10th birthday, my mother surprised me with a trip into Gotham City. We live way out in Kane Town, deep in the woods. Just the two of us. I'm not used to wearing shoes. We visit the Heart Building, go to the very top. The height is dizzying, but my mother grips my hand tight. Do they call it the Heart Building because it's shaped like a heart, I ask, peeking over the edge. No, Ivy girl. She calls me Ivy because I love climbing trees in the hollow behind our cabin. It's called that because it was built at the heart of the city, where the crosswinds intersect, carrying currents to all 5 boroughs. The legend is, more than anywhere else in the city, this spot gives a wish the best chance of taking root somewhere out there and growing strong. My mother plucks a dandelion for me. She is already sick, but I don't know this yet. Make a wish from the heart, she says, and so I do. And now we get to the present, where a police officer sees something moving in the distance. Hello? Whoever's up here, this is private property. You need to, as he steps on something that pops. And there are plants and little creatures all around him. But before he can even do anything, Poison Ivy is behind him. Welcome, officer, to my wish, as she infects him inside and out with her plants. And just like her mother described, now Poison Ivy with these new deadly abilities is right in the heart of Gotham, taking root against everyone's will, as the police try and figure out what's going on. What in God's name are we looking at, Sarge? Damned if I know, Lieutenant. Heads up, Hill just issued a full biohazard, 5-block radius. Our job is now to watch out for anyone trying to get in. In? What kind of psycho would, as we cut to Batman chainsawing his way into this tree? We've got ourselves a chainsaw Batman. As he communicates with Alfred, I'm in. Talk. And Alfred gives him the scoop. GCPD intel indicates the air is highly contaminated with an unknown biological agent. 7 of Bullock's best went in ahead of you and and Batman wants to know more. Apparently they humped in an augied up muck, but Bruce needs English because I don't know what the hell that means either. Sorry, an augmented mobile ultrasonic cannon. An extremely powerful military grade weapon that uses compressed sound waves to separate cells. Whatever is in there, just be careful, kid. And we get a great example of just how dangerous things are in here, as Bruce says, I have eyes on the officers. But Alfred tells him that's not possible. Maybe that stuff in the air is, I'm looking right at him. But Alfred is sure, and I'm looking right at the police scans. There are no human signatures on your floor or any floor near you. As these officers turn around and they are truly no longer human. They break out of whatever remained of the flesh of the officers and they rush Bruce, roaring. And Alfred tells them, whatever you're looking at, they're not people. Not anymore. As we go back 1 week, like I told you guys, we're gonna have a lot of moving parts, and here are some of them. Batman Combat Journal. I find something today. I'm in the sewer looking for him again, and suddenly there it is in the water, as we see a huge clump of reptilian flesh. The sight makes my stomach turn. Reptiles shed when they're getting bigger, not smaller. I force out the thoughts. The arrowhead is working. Waylon is getting better. That's what I choose to believe. I also choose to believe that he's still my friend. That they all are. And of course, Bruce is referencing the amulet he gave Waylon in the last issue. We don't really know what it's doing to him. All we know right now is he's definitely shedding, changing into something else. But this is not the only friend Bruce checks up on, as we see 2 men pushing him out of the Iceberg Lounge, and they tell him, you set foot on this block one more time, we have orders from Mr. Cobblepot to fuck you up, Wayne. And he lets them know, you tell Ozzy I'll be back tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. And as we see Ozzy furiously looking at Bruce through a crack, he's no longer in the hospital. It looks like he's already developing his gang and starting to become the Penguin. And we move on to the next friend, as Bruce says, I will never be king. They call me Jack. My queen I met in the field out back. A prince is born from our unmatched pair, but my line ends with my heir. Come on, Eddie. What am I? It looks like although the Riddler was more than willing to help earlier, he too has shut Bruce out. He wants nothing to do with the Batman. And now we move on to the next friend. I'm sorry, I don't have an answer for you, Bruce, truly. But he doesn't understand. But his condition, Dr. Tompkins. I thought to heal, his skull needed another month at least. Yes, right now, Harvey's head is literally split into 2 halves, barely connected. When the nurses came in this morning though, he was just gone. His friends are all separating, all taking their separate sides of Gotham, creating their gangs, their villain identities. As Bruce walks through the city, seeing everyone praise the Batman, and he continues in his journal. Anchor yourself. Feel the pavement through your souls. Nothing has changed, at least nothing that matters. But everything feels different. Even Batman. Ever since Bane, they love him. He's theirs now, too. In a way I didn't mean to happen. He was never supposed to be the story, just the means, but he's everywhere now. Sometimes I see the Bat and I barely know what the fuck I'm looking at. As we get back to the present, with Batman slicing his way through all these monsters, and Alfred tells him, these things, from the data, they're a blend of human and plant DNA. The spores in the air must be some kind of recombinant mutagen, as they begin to overwhelm Bruce, even removing what's helping him breathe inside this place. Right when Alfred tells him, whatever you do, keep that mask on. Kid, I just said, I know. As he zaps this monster off of him, slices it to ribbons, and now he's getting pissed off. You need to, I fucking know! And with the monsters finally off of him, he has a chance to figure it out. He uses his cape and he tells Alfred, the cape, it's dense fiber, it'll work as a barrier. But those things, they weren't just human and plant hybrids, there was more to them than that. And Alfred tells him, you can tell me all about it back at the bunker, we're aborting this mission, right? Shut up and listen. I saw something like them once before when I was in that place, Arc M. I need you to look something up for me, Pennyworth, a name, Isley, as Bruce now claws his way to the top. As we catch back up with Pamela Isley, now an adult, as she says, I am 23 the next time I come to Gotham. My wish has taken hold, at least in a small way. I have a lab, I have funding. My research focuses on genetic cytological engineering, injecting human stem cells with plant DNA. I work all day and night, often sleeping in the lab. I have some early success too. I engineer a human cell containing chloroplasts, a photosynthetic human cell that can use the sun to heal, regenerate. I tour, I publish, more funding comes in, but it's not enough. Nothing is enough. My mother's sickness is back, has been for a while. A knot of cells in her brain growing out of control, her own body making too much of itself. At night, I look out at the city and wonder if my mother's sickness is part of some bigger pathology happening to us all. Alone, isolated, separated by walls, real and technological and imagined. We turn inward, lose touch. Malignancies grow from our own selves, but if we could reconnect, rejoin. From the heart, Ivy girl, I hear my mother say, and then it hits me. What does Ivy do? It climbs. Maybe there is a version of me somewhere that stops at plants, but not this one, not here. I will combine ourselves with more, not just plants. I will pull from all 6 kingdoms of life. I will climb higher, higher than anyone thinks possible. And it's funny that she's thinking about some other version of herself, because I'm pretty sure Poison Ivy from the OG universe did just stop at plants. Eventually, she gained an insane amount of power, but this Ivy seems to want to go further than that. She's doing this for her mother and her own personal beliefs about the world, the way we treat each other, the way we operate. She's taken the small amount of power she has in this lab, and she plans on doing something extraordinary with it. Something that clearly turns out to be deadly for everyone else. And now that we've learned more about Isley, we get back to Bruce and his routine as he continues in his journal. Stay grounded, Bruce. Stick to routine. The first Sunday of the month at 9 a.m., you visit him. He might never talk, might never really explain why he did it, but still, you sit and you wait. But an officer approaches Bruce and tells him, I'm sorry, Bruce, he isn't coming. What do you mean? He has to. I'm afraid it's up to him. And he said he just doesn't want to meet anymore, ever. But he can't. You can't do that. You hear me, Chill? I know you're back there. This is what we do. As Chill, hiding in the darkness, refuses to face Bruce. And as he thinks back on this moment, he's still, of course, fighting off these monsters. And Alfred is still in his ear. Kid, I'm detecting something on that floor. Something human. Yeah, well, I'm not. The signal is weak, but it's there. All I'm saying is, keep your eyes open. As we see a biblically accurate angel. Of course, this is some kind of plant creature, but this is so gross as it tackles Bruce. And Alfred is still in his ear, and you were onto something before. Pamela Isley, MD, MS, PhD, a whole bloody alphabet. Smart one she was. She died, age 25, looking at her obit now. Written by her mother, you've climbed farther than we can follow, to a land of better angels, as Bruce is basically blowing up an angel. So now we know, 2 years after what we saw from Isley, she does die. Or at least, people think she did. And as Bruce finally defeats this creature, he sees one of the officers is still alive. And she says, Batman, the team, where are they? They're gone, Officer Gordon. As she tries to explain herself. Gone? We got separated and Brass didn't tell us anything. They just sent us in with this all get up muck and sorry, you don't know what that means, do you? Of course I do. Playing it cool like Alfred isn't the one who had to tell him what it is. But right now, he's all business, removing her weapon, and she tries to tell him, look, I was sent in here to stop whatever is happening up there. Me. You can join me as my partner, but you and me, this time, we're a team. Nope. Now that he's got what he needs from her, he pushes her right off the cliff and uses one of his cape tendrils to make sure she gets down there safely. Batman, for now, works alone. And Miss Gordon is not happy with this, but Bruce now has what he needs, and Alfred tells him, "You okay in there? The readings. It looks like the higher you go, the denser the spores get. Kid?" As he sees a face made of plants and vines staring right at him. "I'm fine. I'm going up. Don't get in my way." And now it's time to learn more about Isley and what she was up to. As she says, "They're trying to stop me, but I won't let them. I'm too close now." The breakthroughs these past few weeks, human cells remade with new DNA. First with Plantae, then with Animalia, fungi, Protista, Eubacteria, and Archaebacteria. Human cells reconnected to nature, to a common base, cells that can use the best of all life to mend. A cure for so much. I think of my mother, full of tubes, yellowing, on a pillow that crunches like dead leaves. My sponsors though, all they want to do is divide up each discovery, individuate, separate, old men who only think of what my work can do for them. Fine, I'll take my research somewhere else then. I'll do it tonight. I'm coming for you, mother, I promise. And now we get another one of those moving parts, probably one of the most important in the comic. As Bruce continues in his journal, that night, I go to one place that still makes sense. In the doorway, I take a moment to breathe it in. The smell of old wood, old books, then I hear her voice. As Bruce's mother says, "I'm just worried about him. I see him trying so hard with his friends, trying to put on a brave face with me." And Gordon tells her, "He's a strong kid, Mar, stronger than either of us." That's the thing, Jim. I keep thinking about what you asked me. With everything going on in Gotham, what do I want to do? Me. And this is a conversation they had back in Absolute Batman number 9. And she tells him, "And I know now, but I'm scared, Jim." Why? Look, there are things about me that you don't know. Things no one does. Things that if they came out would change everything. But Gordon lets her know, not everything, as he goes in for a kiss. Gordon has put the moves on Bruce's mom. Can't even blame him. But this is not what Bruce came to see, so he leaves. And Gordon looks out and he has nothing else to say but shit. And with that, Bruce continues to walk and think about the effect Batman has on everything. As we see Harley Quinn and her gang. The Bat? We don't partner with people, Harley. Yeah, well, I say new year, new rules. We also see Dick Grayson and the other medical staff. It's like the whole city has gone crazy, all because of him. With a girl responding to him. Even if you really believe that, what do you propose to do about it, Dick? And we even see the Joker. Here's to the return of Gotham's prodigal son, Jack Grimm. With everything spiraling in Gotham, all leading to him, he thinks, is it him changing things? Is he behind it? Or is it me? Did Batman do all this? What's the real source? As we get back to the battle, and Bruce cannot get to Pennyworth. Wherever he is, the spores are getting really bad. But he's trying to tell him, I'm here, I made it, I'm at the top. Only to be greeted by Pamela Isley. Yes, you are. Isn't it beautiful? And Bruce wants to know, is she Pamela Isley? As she tells him, I used to be, a lifetime ago. And Alfred is trying to warn him, kid, can you hear me? I'm getting nothing human up there. She's not Isley, not anymore. Wait until she gets closer and then use the muck, as once again his communications cut out. And we see exactly what happened to Pamela when she was trying to take her research. I'm almost to the door when I hear the bolt lock into place. Then in the present, she's wrapping Bruce up. I'll be taking the weapon, thank you. And Alfred's trying to tell him, now kid! But Bruce lets him know, it's gone. And Ivy tries to tell him, it's okay, nothing here will hurt you. Don't be afraid, Batman. I know how frightening change can be, but it's time to let go. As we get back to Bruce, walking around Gotham in his journal. Head down, eyes forward, hold it together. As he screams with rage during the battle, burning Pamela Isley. And back when he was walking through Gotham, he can't keep it together. He can't keep his head down and his eyes forward. He's losing it. The same way he's losing it in the battle, burning everything in front of him. And with Isley being set on fire in the present, we see when she tried to take her research in the past, not only was she locked in, but everything, including her, was burned alive. As she says, suddenly the fire is everywhere. I remember feeling so terrified, but more than that, so angry. As Bruce continues to burn her, angry because I thought that was the end, but it wasn't. As Bruce stands over her charred remains, Pennyworth, is she down? What are you seeing? As we see way more clones of Pamela Isley, all looking fine as ever. As Alfred tries to warn him, kid, I'm seeing something big. It's up there with you. It's part human, part plant, but it's more than that. It's part everything. And Bruce tells him, all I see is more of her. As they surround him, time to let go, Batman. But he revs the chainsaws and he's ready to take them all on. Come on then, try it. You're not even real. As someone in the distance tells him, no, they're not. But I am. And we see the real Pamela Isley. All these beautiful ass clones are not her. This is what Pamela became. Of course, she looks like a complete monster. It is Absolute Batman. And it gets far, far worse as she grows 4 wings and gets closer to Bruce. Shh. Welcome, Batman, to your wish. As she grows into an even more disturbing looking creature. It reminds me of a thing from another world. That's the exact kind of vibe I get from Absolute Poison Ivy. But before this story ends, we get to our epilogue. One of the biggest moving pieces we saw earlier is being revealed now, as Martha is speaking on the phone. I didn't know if you'd answer, especially after all this time. It's me. I wasn't followed. Are you still there? As someone on the phone says, we're always here, Martha. We knew one day you'd come back. To the Court of the Owls. So, Bruce's mom somehow was a part of the Court of the Owls. Bruce's friends are all separating, becoming villains, building up their gangs. Bruce is now gonna have to fight Poison Ivy, going all out. And Killer Croc is changing into something else due to the amulet Bruce has given him. All while Bruce is doing his best to keep it all together. I am so excited for issue number 18. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is the end of the issue, and I will catch you all on the next one.